Marvel's most powerful Canadian superheroes ranked. While most of Marvel's best-known superheroes call the United States of America home, the Great White North boasts some of the most formidable figures in the multiverse. From immortal mutants to demigods, Canada has produced multiple heroes who could easily rival and triumph against the likes of the Avengers. These Canadian characters may not receive the recognition they deserve, but they don't disappoint. While some famous Canadian heroes like Wolverine rank among Marvel's most well-known characters, many of the nation's more region-specific heroes haven't gotten the full love they deserve. This ranking will break down the strongest among Canada's top heroes to determine which Maple Leaf Flyer comes out the strongest. Whether leading elite teams or standing as lone wanderers, these Marvel heroes represent Canada's finest contributions to the superhero world. Number 10. Puck, Eugene Judd. Before becoming a hero, Eugene was a traveling mercenary and well known across the world for being a hulking and mountainous man. However, on his journeys, Puck uncovered the Black Blade of Baghdad, which further increased his monumental strength at the cost of his height. After a brief villainous stint, Puck was drafted onto Alpha Flight as one of the Canadian government's state-sponsored heroes. Despite his comedically short size, there is actually a reason for this physical change that works toward Puck's advantage. Number 9. Northstar Aurora, Jean-Paul Jeanne-Marie Beaubier. Northstar and Aurora are mutant twins who were devastatingly separated in infancy after their parents died. When Jean-Paul grew up, he developed the ability to fly in superhuman speed and used his powers to achieve Olympic glory. Jeanne-Marie has a near-identical ability to her brother, but was raised in an upbringing that tortured her mind into a permanent dissociative state. When the two reunited, both mutants joined the Guardians' Alpha Flight. However, the twins' full powers only activate when they are together. Number 8. Guardian, James Hudson. The Guardian is, more or less, Canada's closest equivalent to Captain America. James Hudson first approached his superheroic career after joining the Canadian government's Department H, an agency designed to sanction, support, and monitor superhuman activity. Soon becoming the department's leader, James founded the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight alongside other members of this list. As the Guardian, James originally gained his powers from a self-designed battlesuit, but has since been rebuilt as a cyborg with many equivalent super abilities. Number 7. Snowbird, Narya. Narya is a descendant of the Inuit gods of the North who protected humanity from the great beasts. After both mystical races were banished, the Inuit goddess of the Northern Lights gave birth to Narya, a demigod who would remain in Canada as the territory's protector. The mystical hero Shaman raised Narya as his own alongside Alpha Flight as her godly powers developed over time. Snowbird is primarily an animal shapeshifter who can take the form of numerous species native to northern Canada. Number 6. Sasquatch, Walter Lankowski. While Walter no longer possesses his Sasquatch powers, when he was at the peak of his strength, Walt's power nearly rivaled the Hulk. After moving to the States for college, Walter met and briefly befriended fellow Gamma scientist Bruce Banner. Sometime after the Hulk's birth, Lankowski sought to induce a similar effect. Walter succeeded and opened 2 green doors. One linked to the below place as with most Hulks, but the other linked to the realm of the beasts. There, the spirit of Tanarak emerged and possessed Lankowski. Now, instead of growing green when angry, Walt would transform into the Sasquatch. Number 5. Deadpool, Wade Wilson, a product from the Canadian covert agency, Department K. Deadpool is as linked to Canada's Weapon X program as Wolverine. After being implanted with Wolverine's healing factor, Wade Wilson has become an immortal nuisance who chooses to polyfully rely on his powers. Deadpool seems to have significant pain tolerance, allowing him to embrace his healing factor less hesitantly than Wolverine might. Due to this, Deadpool rarely holds himself back, throwing all his enemies off guard. Of course, Deadpool's greatest power is his fourth wall-breaking awareness. Number 4. Shaman, Michael T. Yeoman. Shaman comes from a long line of mystics and sorcerers who tapped into the Earth's natural magic. Since childhood, his tribe raised Michael to become a well-rounded mystical prodigy, although the hero has always preferred to use his people's magic. Like a well-known American sorcerer, Shaman is one of Canada's best surgeons and often applies his medical expertise with his magic. Michael prefers to remain a healer and often leaves direct combat up to his allies in Alpha Flight. Number 3. Wolverine, James Howlett. The gruffest addition to this list of Canadian characters, James Logan Howlett was born to a wealthy plantation owner in Alberta, Canada. After unlocking his bone claw ability, his feral nature crept in over time. Eventually, Logan transformed into a bestial creature that roamed the Canadian wilderness. Of course, it wasn't until Weapon X that Wolverine unlocked his full potential. This semi-sentient metal has unlocked numerous different abilities for Logan, including rage-induced hot claws. His claws are near indestructible and capable of slicing through any material. Number 2, Sentry, Robert Reynolds. Before becoming one of Marvel's most unstoppable superheroic powers, Robert Reynolds was a struggling drug addict who broke into an abandoned Canadian research facility that aimed to recreate the super soldier serum. Inside, Robert found the Golden Sentry serum. After consuming the mysterious chemical, Robert gained cosmic-level solar powers. However, the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows, and a cruel, endless void of evil latched on a Sentry's soul. When he could contain his demonic other half, Sentry easily ranks as Marvel's most powerful human hero. Number 1, Squirrel Girl, Doreen Green. While Doreen Green may not be as invincible or all-powerful as most entries on this list, Squirrel Girl does have the best track record for major villain defeats. Squirrel Girl is a Canadian-American who was born with the proportionate abilities of a squirrel. Alongside her many squirrel sidekicks, Doreen Green has been eating nuts and kicking butts for years. While her powers may seem comedic, an army of squirrels certainly has its advantages. Even Dr. Doom could not withstand the might of a dozen squirrels.